So, my loves, let's look at some beautiful, glorious, lovely quadrilaterals, looking at our shapes this week and all that we know about them. First ones we're looking at is identifying our quadrilaterals. Can we name them? Yes, we can. So this one has opposite sides that are equal, two long sides, two short sides. We also see that we have four right angles. That means that this is a rectangle. Over here, similar, but this time we have four equal sides and four right angles. This cutie is a square. If you did not spell it right, that is absolutely fine. Then we have our lazy square. We have four sides that are equal. We don't have right 90-degree angles. This, excuse me, is a rhombus. We joke that this is the lazy square. It has all the characteristics of a square, but a little bit of a lean. Over here, we have matching congruent sides, no right angles. This is a parallelogram, or our lazy rectangle. Then the one that we call the odd man out, because this is the most different of our quad squad. We have a short line, we have a long line, we have two congruent sides, we have all different angles. This is a trapezoid, the trapezoid. And then our last one up here, we have two short sides, we have two long sides, and it looks like its name. This is a kite. Any questions on the first page? Go ahead and bring them with you to class. Coming down here, our job is to draw our shapes. So for this one, I need four congruent sides. I'm going to make them 1, 2, 3. I'm going to turn it around, see if we can keep it the same. You do not need to use a ruler if you don't have one. I'm just trying to keep my lines a little straighter. 1, 2, 3, and it's still not going to be great, and that's okay because we're not perfect. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to connect the sides. So our square should have four right angles and four congruent sides. Our parallelogram, this is a lazy rectangle. So two short sides, two long sides, no right angles. It has a little bit of a lean is our parallelogram. Trapezoid has a short line on top, a long line on the bottom, and our edges connect. Our trapezoid. Kite has two short sides at the top, two longer sides at the bottom, and honestly, it looks like its name. It is a kite. Now remember, there is no actual line. It helps you to get the image. Rhombus, that's our lazy square. So we have four sides that are the same. Could also draw it this way. It does not have to be this way like a diamond. Either one would be fine. A rhombus, four sides that are the same length, but it has a little bit of a lean. And then our rectangle, we have two short sides. We have two long sides. We have four right angles for our rectangle. If you have any questions on this, please go ahead and bring it with you to class. Let's talk about angles. Let's talk about angles. So we are looking to label our angles as a cute little grandma pinching our cheeks, the right way to sit at the dinner table, or an acute, or I'm sorry, or an obtuse. That is our ocean vacation for one. That's that vacation angle where you can draw a grown-up laying back and relaxing. So I'm going to first go through and look for my acute angles. Remember, those are our pinchy angles. I see an acute angle here and an acute angle here. I don't have any right angles. They look like a capital letter L, but I do have two obtuse vacation angles. So the top ones are obtuse and the bottom ones are acute. Over here, I have an obtuse. Look, I can draw a grown-up relaxing. Obtuse, obtuse. These are all obtuse. And this one is a cute little grandma pinching our cheeks. In our parallelogram, our opposite angles match. So these two angles are acute and these two angles are obtuse. We have a square, which means that all four angles have to be right. Squares and rectangles, they all have to be right. Rectangles, same thing. All four angles have to be right. Otherwise, it's not a rectangle, it's a parallelogram. And then our rhombus, we have two obtuse and we have two acute. If you have any questions on your angles, go ahead and bring them with you to class. For this next page, we're looking to see how many pairs of parallel lines do we have. You can say none, 1, 2, or 3. Remember with parallel lines, if we continue to draw them, they are never going to cross. So we have intersecting, we have intersecting, we have intersecting. If we were to look at these two sides, if we continue them, they're going to slowly get intersecting as well. None. There are no pairs of parallel sides. Over here on our trapezoid, top and bottom, there is one pair of parallel sides. These edges are going to be intersecting. Down here, I have two pairs in this parallelogram, top and bottom. Side and side, I have two pairs of parallel. Rectangle, same thing. I have two pairs of parallel, top and bottom, side and side. Square, same rules. I have two pairs of parallel, top and bottom, side and side. And then on our last one, another trapezoid, one pair. On the edges, they are going to be intersecting. If you have questions on these, please go ahead and bring them with you to class. Last page. This is the challenge. If this is too sticky for you, that is okay, but we are trying our best to stretch and grow as we get closer to the end of the school year. So let's take a look. I want you to determine or decide or name what quadrilateral is being described. So this says the opposite sides are equal in length. The opposite sides are parallel and it has four 90-degree angles. So if my opposite sides are equal, those two are equal. These two are equal. I have four right or 90-degree angles. This is a rectangle. Over here, two pairs of adjacent, remember that's opposite sides are the same length, and no parallel lines. So adjacent are the same. Adjacent are the same. This is a kite. I should make these a little bit longer. This is a kite. One pair of opposite sides are parallel. Interior angles are too acute and too obtuse. This is a trapezoid because we have two acute angles, two obtuse angles, and opposite sides are parallel. All four sides are equal. Opposite sides are parallel and opposite angles are equal, but not 90 degrees. So if our opposite sides are parallel and our angles are equal and all four sides are the same length, we're talking about a rhombus, right? This is going to be a lazy square. This is going to be a lazy square because we don't have those 90-degree angles. Two pairs of parallel sides. Opposite angles are equal, but not 90 degrees. This is going to be, oh, I got to make it tilt a little bit. Parallelogram. That looks more like a rectangle, Mrs. L. Let's give it a little bit better of an angle. Like that. There we go. There we go. That's a little bit better of a parallelogram. A parallelogram. Last one. All four sides are equal in length. Opposite sides are parallel and it has those 90 degrees. We're talking about a square. Again, this was a huge, 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 huge stretch page. If it was too much for you, that is okay. But I wanted to see how much we know about our shapes when we're talking about them in word form. All right, little loves, have a great weekend, and I will see you next